Wow, I think I should just stop right here. Thank you so much, Peter. It's an incredible honor to be introduced by one of one's lifetime heroes, and it's left me almost speechless.
Not quite.
Almost, I said. And thank you, Judge Sullivan, I hope you're still here. I'm so proud to have joined an organization that can boast such an amazing group of alumni, including so many who are now on the bench. Pat Wald, as you mentioned, is here, another veteran of NLSP and the DC Circuit, which must have seemed tame by comparison. So many other alums are here today, and I hope this gives you a chance to reconnect, to find each other. And it's really a testament to the depth of the legal services roots in this community, which are really astonishing. I know Tim Hester is here somewhere. Tim, it's impossible for me to convey how grateful I am to you, to Covington and Burling. Thank you for opening your doors for this wonderful occasion and celebration of NLSP's work and civil legal services. This is really just the tip of a very deep iceberg of support from Covington that has lasted for decades through NLSP's pioneering times and times when it has struggled a bit. Covington has always been there with its loaned associates, its financial support, and its technical help. And perhaps most significant and most valuable of all, it's given us a steadfast and thoughtful leader in the person of Bing Leverage, one of our longtime co-board chairs, himself once a rotating associate. Our clients, our staff, and I owe Bing an absolutely unrepayable debt. Thank you, Bing. I'm so pleased to see so many of you today. You may know that I started my legal career here in DC at what I will always think of as Shaw Pittman, now Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman. And it's enormously flattering that some of my first mentors, who had to be incredibly patient with my baby lawyer steps, are here today. Thank you all for sticking with me. And welcome to all of you in the legal services community. My former colleagues from the Maryland Legal Aid Bureau, I love you all dearly, and my new colleagues here in DC, whom I'm sure I will come to love equally dearly. You all do amazing work and have been incredibly supportive. The entire NLSP staff is looking forward to furthering deep and productive collaborations with you, and I truly, truly mean that. Finally, a very big thank you to my board and my staff for their confidence in me, for their tireless commitment to service for the poor, and their steadfast teamwork. And could my staff and the board just raise their hands? You deserve a round of applause for your awesome work. Higher. So the opportunity to lead a legal services program would be a privilege anywhere, but it's a particular honor and responsibility to do so here in our nation's capital. Because as you all know, DC is not just another city. It is the face of our nation, and it announces to the world in our most fundamental values as a society, and they are enshrined in these incredibly majestic monuments that we see every day. As I travel through the city, I see in the Washington Monument a towering tribute to Washington's notion of civic duty, a notion that all should contribute to the common good. In the Jefferson, a shrine to the inalienable rights all persons should enjoy. In the Lincoln, the moral imperative to achieve real equality, which embraces access to rights, opportunities, and advancement. And at the FDR, I see a story of faith, tenacity, capacity, the capacity to build a better world that takes care of the less fortunate. And at the Martin Luther King Memorial, I find a powerful reminder that justice is not simply an abstract concept, but a call to action. Action makes sure that those values, civic duty, equality, access to opportunity, become a reality for all of us, day in and day out. At NLSP, we work and our clients live in the shadows of those monuments. But for our clients, those noble aspirations seem very, very far away. Too many of our neighbors go without the most basic necessities: shelter, freedom from violence, access to care, the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to work. And most of you are familiar with the bleak statistics. In this city, almost 30% of the kids live in poverty. In the neighborhoods in which our practice is concentrated right now, wards 7 and 8, between 40 and almost 50% of children live in poverty. That means they may share their homes with rats and mold or live in overcrowded shelters. Asthma and other chronic illnesses are unavoidable consequences to our kids who live in substandard housing. Our kids may not get the regular access to health and dental care to which they are legally entitled, and they may go to bed hungry when their parents have to pay the rent. As a recent report made clear, they are likely to attend the lowest performing schools in the city, falling behind through no fault of their own. Our clients, from youth transitioning to adulthood to seniors, cycle in and out of the workforce. Those who can work want to get and keep jobs. But unemployment rates have been rising steadily. Last year, I was astonished to learn that Ward 8 was reported to have the highest jobless rate of any U.S. metro area with a labor force of comparable size, at 25%. In our work, we see that those who are employed in low-wage jobs are vulnerable to a variety of forms of wage theft, from non-payment of overtime, non-payment of last check, to tip sharing, to misclassification as independent contractors. The increase in unemployment has significantly increased the number of people eligible for our services. These newly poor clients once had a little toehold in the middle class. The promise of those great monuments seemed within reach. They may have saved to buy a home, only to lose a job or discover that with their mortgage came a gotcha that they didn't understand or was hidden. 16 to 20% of home mortgages in Wards 7 and 8 in 2006 were subprime, and they now contribute to a disproportionately high rate of foreclosures in DC. We've seen an explosion of debt collection, and in what's become a high volume and often horribly sloppy practice, collection mills sue the wrong person, seek to collect debts that are time barred, have been paid off, lack proper documentation, creating more instability, robbing our clients of limited income, and creating stains on their credit record that may prevent them from getting an apartment, car loan, or even a job. In the neighborhoods in which we work, too many struggle with mental illness. An increasing number are damaged veterans. They may be homeless, unable to navigate a complex social services system. That means they may go without benefits to which they're legally entitled and wind up living on the streets. Too many of our clients, mainly, but not all women, are victims of domestic violence, violence that may be experienced, witnessed, and tragically replayed by kids in their households. All of us are hurt by the hurt experienced by our clients and our neighbors. Some of the collective harm is obvious. Rampant foreclosures destroy the safety and viability of neighborhoods. Substandard housing conditions create vast health hazards. Children whose lives are destabilized by domestic violence suffer untreated trauma, and kids who don't finish school have trouble succeeding as adults. We could all, I'm sure, add to this lengthy list of bad consequences of poverty. But the message is clear. We all need to work for healthy communities for everyone. These problems may seem intractable, and they're clearly enormous. And I'm not about to tell you here that now at NLSP, we're going to solve them all. But what drew me to legal services and what keeps me fired up every day is that collectively as a civil legal services community, our work makes the elusive promise of those monuments real for those who are struggling for dignity, hope, and opportunity. Every day, we resolve critical problems for folks in crisis, as Judge Sullivan's story so eloquently described. For the children I spoke of, we ensure that they receive the health care benefits to which they're legally entitled. Our work secures safer, healthier, and affordable housing, and where we can, retains home ownership, improving overall neighborhood conditions and reducing homelessness. We secure critical income supports, including food stamps, unemployment, child support, assistance for persons with disabilities, welfare for many, including those who are suffering with mental illness. We can keep children in learning environments appropriate for their needs. And we level the playing field in our courts for those who can't afford a lawyer. Our representation may ensure that a loving parent retains custody or the opportunity to visit a child, or a senior receives desperately needed alimony when a long-term marriage dissolves. Victims of domestic violence obtain orders of protection with our help. At NLSP and as a legal services community, you know, we provide an incredible range of services, and I've only outlined a few. Clearly, our daily work makes a critical, lasting difference for our low-income neighbors. But even with the extraordinary generosity of the private bar and other volunteers, we only have the resources to serve a fraction of those who have real, solvable, and legally grounded problems. Studies across the nation, including one done under Peter's aegis at the Access for Justice Commission, document the continuation of a huge justice gap. At NLSP, we have a very dedicated staff of about 20. As an organization, we see the justice gap daily as demand for our services exceeds our resources. So what does that mean? I think it means that we have to use our limited resources as strategically as possible to get absolutely the most bang for our buck in everything we do. So we're starting this new chapter for NLSP by taking a hard look at the problems our low-income neighbors face, examining available responsive strategies, and we'll have to make very hard choices about how we use our limited resources. Our work must have a sharp focus that begins with clear goals for what we want to accomplish for clients. We will listen to those in the communities we serve in a very intentional way to ensure that we understand the barriers facing our low-income neighbors and that we are as accessible and responsive as we can be for them. We will establish lasting partnerships that enable us to take advantage of all the astonishing resources we have in the city and our sister programs. We will seek in everything we do to answer the question, are we getting the most from this effort? Is there a way to solve this client's problem and make things better for others? Is there a way to stop solving the same problem over and over again? Are we treating the cause as well as the consequences of the problems when we can? I call that integrating broad-based strategies in all of our work, and some of you have heard me talk about it ad nauseum, but I truly, truly believe that that is what a high-quality legal services program should always strive to do. By making sure our practice is focused, aligned to address the problems our clients cannot solve on their own, and coordinating our work with others, we can strengthen the impact of our work and come closer to realizing the promises of those towering, magnificent monuments. We can ourselves become an even more monumental force for justice. As part of the face of the nation here in DC, we need to model high quality, high impact civil legal services. And with all of your help and with a terrific staff, I know we can do that. So thank you for this wonderful welcome. Thank you, more importantly, for supporting NLSP and your dedication to the importance of civil legal aid in our society. Enjoy this wonderful spread, and we will see you in the trenches. Thank you very much.